And a very good day everyone. My name is Mr. Ashraf, and in this video I will be delivering the lecture for our lesson this week, which is on documenting sources. So we are going to look at one particular style, which is APA style, and it is the latest 7th edition. Okay, so first of all, let's look at what is APA style. Right, so APA actually stands for American Psychological Association, and it is one of the most popular citation or reference style, other than the MLA style or Harvard style or Chicago style. So the APA style is comprised of a standard method to document sources, right? And it is usually used in social sciences, and we use a common style because we want to ensure clarity, consistency, and academic integrity. Alright, so there are main type of citations. The first one is the in-text citation, whereby we show where in our essay we get our sources from. Right, so for in-text citation, these are the basics, right? First is the parenthetical citations, whereby we put the last name or the family name of the author with the year of publication. Right, so after we write our sentences, we put the parenthetical citations at the end of the sentence in which we get it from our source. Another style is narrative citations, where we include the author as part of the sentence, right? So for narrative citations, the author's name and the year of the publication is used in the sentence itself, right? It can be used as a subject or as a point of reference in the sentence. Right, so for the components in the in-text citations, right, so there are three things actually, right? The common things that you have to put is the author and the year of publications, right? So both of these components are necessary to include in your in-text citation. However, if you want to put a direct quotation, meaning that you want to get the whole sentences from your sources without paraphrasing, you have to include the page number of the source. Alright, but if you paraphrase, you do not require page number. You just put the author's last name or family name and the year of publication. Alright, if you don't understand, don't worry, we will look at the examples. Alright, so before we look at the examples, we will learn about the reference as well first. Okay, so for the reference list, it is a format in which we record what references we use. Okay, so the basics are here. Right, so we put it under a new page titled references, and it is alphabetized the way we arrange our reference. Right, so it depends on the author's last name. Double space with hanging indent, and provides full details of each source cited. So you must be wondering, what are the details that are required in the reference list? So we will look at it now. So these are the two formats which are very common. Okay, for book, you must put the author name, right? Here is the last name, right? AA is the first name, right? Just the initial. and the year of publication, title of book, and the name of the publisher. For journal article, the same thing. It's just that instead of the title of the book, you put title of the article and the name of the journal, the volume, and the issue, and lastly you put the pages. If it is online, you have to put the DOI number or link to the article. For references, you can also include video, right? So for example, for YouTube video, you have to put creator's name, the username, year, month, day, title of video, and the website URL, right? So for example here, Khan Academy, this is the creator name, right? If the creator's name is not available, you can put the username of the YouTube account. Alright, so everything is here. You can pause if you want to look at it further, if you want to look at it longer. Online news article, right? So here's an example, right? Author, AA, year, month, day, title of article, website name, and URL. Okay, so this is just for online article. All right, so make sure that you know what does each of this component mean, right? So for example, if you look at here, Parker is the last name, L is the first name, right? It could be London or it could be Larry. So you just put L, right? So for example, if it's my name, Muhammad Ashraf bin Zulkifli, I just put Zulkifli and I just say M-E as my first name here. So 2023 June 2nd, right? So you see here the difference between online news article and journal article, right? For online news article, you have to include the full date, right, with month and the day. But if it is book or journal article, you just include the year of publication. Climate change reshapes global harvest patterns, right? So this is the title of the article. National Geographic is the website name, and we put the URL, right, where we get our article from. And if it is an online magazine article, this is the format. Okay, you can look at it yourself. And even if it is a podcast, right, you can put the host name, right? So there's a different component for a different type of references, right? If it is an interview, you have to see here, right, the interviewee, right, the people who is being interviewed, right, and you put the interviewer name, right, and the website, right, the publication, the URL, where the publication, where it is published. All right, and if it is interview, right, meaning that it is something that you get from the person themselves, right? For example, you were talking to an expert in the field, but it is just word of mouth. You can also cite it, right? How to cite it? You just say that it is from personal communication, right? So it would be understood that it is something that was said to you by the person. And this one is for online report, right? So for online report, they usually won't have an author's the author name, right? They just put the organization's name, right? So if there's no author, you just put the organization's name, right? So for example here, WHO, World Health Organization. Okay, website page with no author. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at APA in-text citations examples. All right, so this is in-text citation. Okay, so the examples are here, right? Climate change is accelerating due to human activity. Okay, Smith 2023, or like what I said before, you put the author as part of the sentence. Smith 2023 argues that climate change is accelerating. And for reference, this is how you write it. Okay. And this is for reference with two authors, right? If there are two authors, you write both of the authors' last name. Lee and Ahmad 2022. And if it is part of the sentence, Lee and Ahmad 2022 found productivity benefits. Alright, so found productivity benefits, effective teamwork benefits productivity. Okay, so this is the reference. Lee M. Ahmad S. 2022, teamwork in modern workplaces. And if there are 3 or more authors, you do not need to write all of the name of the authors. You just write et al. Gomez et al. 2021. Okay, or in the sentence, the same thing. Gomez et al. 2021 reported improved performance, and the rest of the sentence lah. Okay, and for reference, you have to write all of the authors' last name here, right? Gomez L, Tan R, Patel A, 2021. Okay, so here, so this is from a book. Okay, so this is an example for direct quotation, right? Meaning that you do not paraphrase the sentence, right? If you don't want to paraphrase the sentence, you can also put it as part of your reference, but the difference is that you have to write the page number, right? By writing it like this, P45. Chan 2022 noted that exercise has long-term mental health benefits, right? Page 45. But if it is online article, for example, right? So online article does not have paragraph. So what do you put? It does not have page. So what do you put? So you put the paragraph number. So you have to count what number is the paragraph is from, right? The quotation is from which paragraph, and then you put the paragraph number. Okay. Organization as an author, right? If the source does not have an author, you just write the organization's name here. Okay, you can pause to read. And if there's no author, you write the title of the article, right? If there's no author here, as part of your reference. And if it is multiple source here, I am sure you have seen this, right? What does it mean? Okay, teacher training is essential for learning outcomes. It means that all of these informations have been said by all these 3 sources, right? So 3 of the sources said the same thing about teacher training. Okay, so you see Singh 2020, Tan 2021, Wilson and Gray 2019. Okay, the key point here is that you have to remember even the usage of the comma, these quotation marks, the tanda baca, right? You have to see that they are very particular. If it is a full stop, you have to put a full stop. If it is in a cage here, you have to put it in a cage. Okay, Yes, and if it is a secondary citation, right? What does secondary citation means? It means that it is a citation within a citation, right? Children learn faster with interactive materials. Nguyen 2015 as cited in Ali 2022, meaning that it is this information is from Nguyen 2015, but you got it from Ali 2022. Okay, so for instance, if you cannot access the Nguyen paper here, you can cite Ali's how Ali cited Nguyen here, right? But you have to write it like this lah. Okay, so this is how you write the reference. You just reference Ali. You do not need to reference Nguyen here. Okay, so lastly, we have looked at the very particular way the academic world formats the sources, right? So why do we do that? Okay, why we need to paraphrase here? First of all is to show understanding of the source. If we put a lot of source in our paper and we cite all the important source, it shows that we actually are an expert in the field and we have read a lot about the topic, so we have the authority to talk about the topic, and we integrate information smoothly into our own writing, right? So academic writing is all about adding to the conversation about the topic, right? But in order to add into the conversation, you have to show what have been written before, right? So you put the sources, you talk about the sources, you talk about what other experts have said about the topic. That's why we do the citations and all that. Okay, reduces excessive quoting, right? When we want to include other sources, we have to paraphrase lah, okay, to so that it's not just a series of direct quotation after direct quotations. And lastly, helps maintain our own academic voice. Okay, how to paraphrase effectively? Okay, so we have covered this before in our lesson last in the previous week, so you can go through it. Okay, so but what's most important with paraphrasing is it shows we have to understand the original text first, okay? Because one of the biggest sins in citing our sources is if we cite our sources incorrectly, meaning that we said things that were not said in the original source. Okay, so for instance, if the original author see what we've written, what we've said that the author write, then they could be angry and they could question why we interpret their work in such a way. Okay, and it is also important because we want to avoid plagiarism. Alright, so as we have already covered last week, not putting citations and just putting information, even though we have already paraphrased it, but if we do not put the references, meaning that we do not indicate that this is this information we got from somewhere else, it is also considered as plagiarism. And it is to show academic integrity, right? So like what I mentioned before, right? Listing your references, indicating in your paper where you get your information from is very important because it shows academic integrity. You present something that is not yours, but you are humble enough to say that I got it from somewhere else. This is what they said, this is what they said, this is what they said. Alright, and from what they said, this is what I contribute to the conversation. Alright, and allows readers to verify your research. Alright, so when we list down our references, the readers can easily trace back the original information. So they can say that, oh, this information is from this paper and this paper said this, and they can check our work lah, basically. Alright, so that is all about the documenting sources. Hopefully you have already learned something, and if you need any further question, you can ask your instructors or you can write in the comment sections. Thank you.